I said it this way. I said, if you can't talk to your pastor, you have to question whether he's your pastor.
Ooh.
As a pastor, I mean, we deliver, but we also receive. And if you have the compassion of the people in your congregation, you will look and listen and, you know, go to God based on what they're asking you. So they can't talk, they're fearful, really fearful, and I can see why. Elder Ray will tell you this, Sunday last or 2 Sundays ago, I asked the congregation, I said, look, you're sitting, but I don't want you to lie in this church today, okay? I said, what I want you to do is to be strictly honest with me. How many of you in this congregation can put your hand on 2 ounces of 999.9 pure 24 karat gold? One hand went up. One. That wasn't Ray because he had the VIP pack. That was the tax commissioner who's my spiritual son. You know, he's in as well, but he got a seat all over again. So what happened here, God would knock me out at night. I would leave, even if I leave Bible study. We have Bible study for 1 hour on Wednesday night. I get home about 8:30, 8:45. And then on the couch, I'm going to watch CNN. You know, I want to watch where the devil's in the biggest sky. Well, you know, if the devil wanted to get somebody in a house, would it be a little house or a big house? Or maybe even a White House, okay? He's there to distract if you pick up the spirit. The spirit is never a spirit until you pick it up. That's why I picked that spirit up that's in this room. And we better pick it up real fast because something is happening in our neighborhood. All of us have been praying for something and God have delivered, okay? I heard this before. Mark Zuckerberg had 9 friends that came.
That's it.
And only 3 saw Facebook.
That's it.
Well, you need to buy somebody lunch. You need to tell them you're going to take them to the movie, but you need to get them to see here. Because we have discovered that if you're not interacting with gold, you could be doing something wrong. Now, how many of you have ever heard this before? God cannot make a mistake.
That's right.
Anybody ever heard that before?
That's right.
If God would make a mistake, the whole world would blow up. So you think God made a mistake when he put the gold in the Bible 417 times? That is not a mistake. I have one thing I want to show you, and then I'm going to turn you loose. But I want you to remember this. Remember, I stood in the front of this room along with this man here, tired and tired, to share with you what this book is all about. This book is a pre-qualifier. Okay, I want you to understand, when you hand this book to a man or a woman of God or a pastor or a 5-4 ministry gift, and if they can't see, get your book back quick because you still have 6 million, you still have 6,890,000 people in the greater metropolitan Atlanta area, and everybody knows about gold. But gold has been a fearful thing for us to get involved with. Most of you might know this. When we were coming on as young adults and young children, our parents used to attach us to some form of financial system, and they used to buy saving bond. Can anybody remember that? The saving bonds were $18. We believed the gram of gold was $8. Today, the saving bond is between $18 and $23, and the gram of gold is $73. Does that make sense? What if they were buying gold? We believe that they sold us on the saving bond because the saving bond brought them a commission. While they were buying the gold, we were buying the saving bond. So now, you know, we've been bamboozled for years, right? Well, the bamboozle spirit is over with. You were told that gold was the tears of God, and the tears of God shared in the land where there would be depression and people would be suffering, and that's how come you find a gold mine mostly in Africa. No, we discovered in this book that the gold came from the land. And in Genesis chapter 2, verse 5, it starts talking about before anything was formed in this book. And it tells you that what happened, God made the garden. God made Adam, the man, to till the garden. God made the trees that was good for pleasant for sight, but was good for food. And then next, man needed what? Water. I asked a question in the church, and there was a young man, Tim, you know, his wife died about 2 years ago. I said, after all of that, what would man need next? You said, a woman. No, it was water. So the first river that came out of the Garden of Eden, parted into 4 heads, you've heard you need more than one stream of income, inhabit the land of Havilah where there was gold. Land, gold. And in the very next verse, 12, God said, and the gold of that land is good. If Brother Clarence tell me something is good, what does that mean, Clarence? It's good, right? Good. If God tell you something is good and put it in the Bible, what does that mean? That means he approved it. He approved it. Now let me tell you what Jesus duck them. And I start the book. It's in the book. Revelation chapter 3. No more than your mother would tell you something first thing in the morning and then tell you just before they would go out that house shopping. Don't forget what I said. God did it the same way. He approved the gold as money. There was no dollar bill in it. I tell everybody talk about the dollar bill. Dollar bills were pulled together in order to discriminate man against man. The people that have the $100 bill, they don't associate with the people that have the $1 bill. There's a $1 bill, a $5 bill, a $10 bill, a $20 bill, a $50 bill, and a $100 bill. But there's only one of them that's born again, and that's the $1 bill. That's the only one that comes to church. I can't get some of y'all to smile. But look at this. In Revelation chapter 3, in the beginning of this book, this is what it said. He's talking to people like Mr. Bedsoe, with the guy who owned Amazon. $100 billion, flies into Atlanta, jumps in the back of a $100,000 limousine, come under the Price Street Bridge. The brother just slept in 22-degree weather. Remember, he have $100 billion. He don't have $100 billion. $100 billion have him. And he can't release $1 billion to build a complex out in Covington, educate them, set them in place, feed them, get them back in shape, get them back into society. You still have 99 billion left. So God is waiting on some people like us that know what to do with the wealth. And let me tell you, Karatbars is going to make 100 millionaires. Yes. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, and some of them are right here in this room.
Amen.
Right. Amen. So amen to that. This is what Jesus qualified, the rich man. It's in the red in your Bible. You go. Revelation chapter 3. Now, I know you're taping, but this book is going to work for you. It's a pre-qualifier. It will save you time and money. The book says, the Bible, Revelation chapter 3, if you start with 17. He said, for you say, I am rich, I have prospered and have grown wealthy, and I am in need of nothing. You know, some folks say, I don't need nothing. Well, this is who he's talking to. The person that don't need nothing, the person that say he's wealthy. He said, but you do not realize and understand that you are wretched, you're pitiable, you're miserable, you're poor, blind, and naked. And the very next verse says, therefore, look at the definition of therefore. He said, I counsel you. Look at the definition of counsel. Counsel means purpose. I decree you. I will you to buy, to purchase from me. The only place, this is what brought the book about. In the Bible it said, Jesus said, to buy from me. Why say from me? God owned everything, right? But he said, purchase from me gold, refined and tested by fire. That's there to let you know that it will never be destroyed. The only thing that we cannot destroy by fire is gold. Wow. And maybe a couple other things. That you may be truly wealthy. So right there, what he's telling you, that if you're not dealing with gold, you're not dealing with wealth. Now here's where the curse comes in. Deuteronomy 8 and 18. If you read Deuteronomy from the top, he's telling you, and he was telling them, that I brought you out of the wilderness for 40 years. I allowed your clothes to grow with your body. I allowed your shoes to stretch with your feet. I allowed water to come out of rocks. Do you know if God can allow water to come out of rocks, he sure can make us millionaire with gold. He said, I fed you manna from heaven that your father had no knowledge of. But in 18, he said, you must earnestly remember that it was I that gave you the power to get the wealth. Now, why do we need gold? Because we need wealth. Why do we need wealth? To establish the covenant of Jesus Christ. Now, you've heard this before. The wealth of the wicked have been stored up for who? The just. The just people should be dealing with gold. And when the just people find out about it, guess what? This room is going to be too small. As a matter of fact, this red roof won't be the red roof in anymore. It'll be the green roof in. Amen. Let's give Mr. Brown another big round.